the offering. If you will, we'll be in chapter 6 of Luke. Chapter 6 of Luke. And we'll start in the 43rd verse. Chapter 6. We'll start the 43rd verse. Y'all pray for me today. Seemed a little tough this morning. Seemed like the Lord wanted to come by. But I know that everybody's minds are scattered. I know that they are. I know that these face masks and just the times we live in. I thought if nothing more, just looking around and seeing who's not here. I was thinking this morning as I prayed. We talked about it a little bit Wednesday night. How that the devil, the Bible says he's a worthy adversary. I thought he's really put together a good strategy here against God's people. I thought I've never seen a time. The Bible says in the last days the love of many will wax cold. I thought I've never seen a time where that even God's people have come against each other the way that I've seen in this. I thought about you. I was told Friday that there was a church down there in Barville where we work that didn't do anything. They didn't wear any face masks. They didn't do any social distancing. I hate even talking about this garbage, but it is the times we live in. And I thought how there were so many people mad at them because they didn't do anything. But I thought then on the other side of that story, there was all kinds of people who was praising them because they didn't do anything. Because they were saying, oh, look at how much faith they have. Amen. You could look at it either way. You could look at it that way. But I thought about no matter what man does in this battle that Satan is raised against us, you're never going to have the perfect answer. You're going to make some man. You're going to, Paul said, if one has faith, so be it. He has faith. If the other one doesn't have a whole lot of faith, then so be it. Paul didn't care. But I thought about Satan would love to drive a wedge between God's people. Amen. And that's what this ultimately is about. And I thought, what is the ultimate goal that Satan has against God's people? Keep them out of the house of God, keep them from being saved, and keep them, how many times have you seen something come to the church, drive a wedge in the church, and split it apart and cause people not to come to church? Well, I thought about ultimately, if we weren't doing this stuff, you would have some people in this church that would say, I can't go because they're not being careful. But I thought if we do it, then we got some people that's going to think, well, I thought my church would have had more faith than that. Amen? Amen. But ultimately, what's happening to both of those people? Ultimately, the devil is keeping them home because some's scared and some's saying we ain't got no faith. So ultimately, the devil is getting exactly what he wants out of us. But the Bible tells me that in the last days, the love of many is going to wax cold, and we should never be mad at one another. We're a family. We're in this together. If you've got faith, great. That's good. I'm not a bit afraid of this virus. I would take this mask off right now. I could care less about this virus. But like I said Wednesday, what I'm afraid of is for this world that we're supposed to be being a light to, looks in here and says they're not doing anything down there, and they're going to cause everybody in Bledsoe to get it. And then they shut our doors on our church again. Ultimately, I want to have church. Ultimately, I want to be here to serve my God. If it means wearing a mask, that's fine with me. I wear this thing every day to make $1. I don't care a bit to wear this thing to please my God. Amen. If that's what it takes, I'll come in here if I have to crawl with you.
Amen. Come on. That's good.
I love my God.
Yes. Amen.
I thought I didn't even want to mention this stuff. But the first message I preached when they sent us home was the beginning of sorrows. I don't know how many of you listened to it. I thought about a simple face mask. It's kept some of us home. Amen. I thought about a simple rule from the governor, even kept me home. But the Bible tells me to abide by the laws of the land. Amen. As long as those laws don't interfere with me serving God. They never told me I can't serve God. They just told me to stay home for a little while. Ultimately, that made some people mad. Some people were mad because, and I'm not just talking about our church, I'm talking about the world church. I'm talking about the church as a whole. I thought about ultimately what happens if, well, they should have shut the doors on them sooner. Well, they shouldn't shut the doors on them at all. You see what I'm saying? Satan waged a perfect war against us. It seems that he waged a perfect war against us. Amen. He is a worthy adversary. But I serve a perfect God that's got a perfect weapon for his perfect attack. Amen. And our God is bigger than him. Amen. And you might ask, well, what is the solution? The solution is what it's always been. Love thy neighbor like you love yourself. Amen. If we'll love one another and respect one another through this, amen, and pray for one another, and you need to look beside you, like I said Wednesday night. And if they're not here, you need to pray for them. Amen. Because ultimately, Satan is doing exactly what he set out to do. Amen. I said when we was talking about shutting the churches down, I told you that my greatest fear was that we would never see some back here again. Amen. I said if we give them a few weeks not to be at church, we may never see them again because some of them is hanging on by a thread. Did I have anybody in mind when I said that? Did I have specific names when I said that? Not really. But the Bible tells me enough to know that some people in here is not where other people are. Some people's not doing so good when other people's doing good. And those people next week might not be doing good when they're doing good the next week. Amen. I know enough about this to realize that some people couldn't stand the attack that was getting ready to come their way. Amen. Y'all pray for me. But I thought about the first message that I preached when this all started was, this is the beginning of sorrow. The Bible told us that this was the beginning of sorrow. When you see wars, rumors of wars, when you see all these signs that we've been seeing for years, amen. But now we look and we see even greater signs, amen. Who knows that while all this has been going on, that there was a great big meteor. Now granted, it probably wasn't close enough to ever hit Earth. But there was a great big meteor heading toward Earth. And who knows that NASA constructed a plan to blow that thing up. Because they said it was big enough that if it hit the world, that it would destroy a big population of the world. Who can turn over to Revelations and read something that sounds just like that? Who can read in the Word of God where it says there'll be wonders in the heavens? Amen. We're seeing all this stuff that the Bible talks about. And it says it's the beginning of sorrows. Amen. So this week, I've been torn. As your pastor, I've been torn. What do I do? I'm faced with it every day. What do we do? Do we open it? Do we close it? Well, they're going to get mad if I take their seat and move them. They're going to think I'm bossing them around. They're going to think this. They're going to think that. Well, if we tell them we got to wear a mask, this and that and this. Well, if we don't, then we got to face this consequence and that consequence. Amen. You know how much you get to concentrate on preaching a message that might save your soul? You know how much time we've thought about serving God through this? Some people flourish through this because some people's lives never change. The only way their lives changed is they realized the attack of the devil and they prayed more.
Yeah.
The only thing is they realized the attack of the devil and they said, wow, this is huge. This is big. Their lives changed for the better. We serve a God big enough that we don't need this building. But the Bible does tell me in the last days, as we see them approaching, well, not to assemble yourselves together. And even more so as you see those last days approaching. I keep reading there where it tells me to go to church less. I'm not beating anybody up that's not here. I get it. I understand. Please don't go home and take it that way and say I was jumping on them. But can you not see the perfect attack that Satan has raised against us? Amen. So, if I were to ask you to raise your hand today, do you believe that when this is all over, if it's ever over, who knows when it's going to be over? Who knows if next year is not going to be the same thing? I don't know of anybody yet that's got it and died. I'm just saying me. I don't know. I've got a cousin who got it. They don't live around here. She didn't die. I can hear all of these things every day of my life. Maybe this is real, and odds are it is real. Amen. Odds are it's real. Odds are it's not a lie. But if a simple virus, though, that they can tell us about on the news can rock our world the way that it has, what's going to happen when they show something even greater on TV and tell you that it's coming? The Bible tells me that if it were possible, that even the very elect would be deceived. It tells me that the whole world is going to see Jesus put his foot on sea and dry land. Amen? How's the whole world going to see that? Before, just a few years ago, with the technology that we have today, everybody can see that at one time. Everybody can see that live. Amen? Everybody can see it. A few years ago, that wasn't possible. Amen? But now it's possible. It's possible for the whole world to see that great coming of Jesus Christ. Amen? But in that same aspect, it's also possible that the whole world could be deceived at one time. They can show you anything on the news. I looked last night and saw a commercial of a talking dog, and it looked real. I'm trying to be funny. They can show you anything. How are you going to know what's true and what's false? Amen. So what do you do during it all? You serve God during it all. What do? You trust what you've always trusted. Amen. What do? You pray like you've never prayed before. Amen. What do? You serve God, and you continue to serve God. You don't flat up and say, well, I don't have to go to church, so I don't have to be ready for church. If you don't have church, you better be more ready than you was when you was getting to go to church. Because your world can be turned upside down. Who can tell me that you saw this coming? Who can tell me that 3 months ago, if somebody would have looked at you and said, if the governor tells you you can't go to church, will you go? We'd all stood up with a puffed out chest. And we'd have said, there ain't nobody going to tell me I can go to church. But he did. And we listened. Again, I'm not saying that this is a hoax. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. But what I am smart enough to figure out is that the evil people that lives in this world and serves Satan is going to see this. They're going to use it on us again. And you'll never know if this was true or not. You'll never know unless God reveals it to you if this was real or not. Again, this is the beginning of sorrows. I thought about, I ain't even got to what I was going to read yet. But I thought about, I hear people talk about listening to the messages on the internet and things. And I know some good's come from it. God can work all things together good. No matter what the situation is. Satan can think that he's got a perfect plan. God will trump that plan every time. But I hear people, and they say it's better. It's better. And instantly I say, no, it's not better. If you think for a minute it's better, you're fooling yourself. It ain't better because it goes against the Word of God. The Word of God tells me, look, well, do more as I see the last days approaching. But I thought, for an example, I had a guy, I'm not going to say where I talked to this guy, but I've been talking to him quite often here lately about church. Every time he's around me, he brings church up. And he said, I've been going to church before all this started. Now I've been listening on the internet some, but he said, I think you boys has got it all wrong. He said, y'all will not be calling the church off. This is when they made us call it off. And I'm thinking, wow, this guy's been saved a few months if he knows more than all of us. Instantly something begins to roll up. Ain't that exactly what the devil wants? There's my example again. Well, I've got another guy that I talked to. He's telling me, man, you better shut your church down. What are you doing? You know, the last Wednesday we had it, a lot of people was already shutting down. Right. What are you thinking, preacher? Right. You know, you can get somebody sick up there and they're going to blame every Christian in the country for it. So the other guy comes back to me. Proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You ain't shut that church down yet. You see what it is. So who am I trying to listen to? I'm trying to pray. I'm trying to ask God. I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm getting somewhere. So the one guy comes back to me and he says, I'm proud of you, man. You know, you ain't shut your church down yet. All these other guys, they're weak. They're this and they're that. I said, well, buddy, I'm just trying to do what the Lord tells me to do. So he goes on, well, I never know that guy. I know that guy wasn't real anyway. He's trying to throw this preacher over the bus, you know. I know this about him, I know that about him. I'm sitting there and I'm listening. You know, the Bible says you'll know me about the fruit that he bears. We're getting ready to read that. But I thought about this man, he goes on and he's telling me, yeah, he was seen here, he was seen doing this. And I ain't going to go into what he was seen doing. Yeah, did it look bad for a preacher? Yes. I ain't going to go into it. Yeah, was it a little controversial? Maybe. What, could I find it in the Word of God? No, I couldn't. So he goes on, and he's talking about this guy. And he just keeps jumping into this. Trust me, I'm getting somewhere. So I'm sitting here and trying to change the subject. And I'm getting to talk to this guy, trying to change the subject, and I said, so how long's your daughter been married now? Gives me this weird look. Gives me a weird look. You know, they just bought them a house, starting a family. 2 months. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see. She's going to church too, right? Because he told me, you know, she's been going to church with her. Yeah, I said, so she's saved? Yeah. Yeah. I said, well, what about the fellow there? Oh, yeah, he's a man. Man, he's going to church too? Yeah. I said, well, man, I'm glad to hear that, you know. So, almost instantly, I get called across the factory. This is before I got laid off. I walked all the way across the factory to the other end. Somebody says, hey, something about the guy that I've just been talking about. Where is he at? We need him over here, blah, blah, blah. So I just talked to him in there. Let me guess, he's telling you about this and that. Yeah. I said, I didn't even know his daughter got married. Oh, she ain't married. I said, hold on, what? Oh, no, they're just living together. Okay. So, I go back. He lets in on the preacher again. The same preacher. He's letting in on him over this little small thing that he did. And he didn't agree with it. I said, well, you know, I don't even know the guy. I don't know who you're talking about. But I said, what I can tell you is, I don't really know where it's at in the Bible, what you're saying that you're going wrong. I said, you could make some things up. You can say, I said, but man, what it really boils down to is we just need to do what the Bible says. I said, it's like living in adultery, living in fornication. I said, those things are cut and dry. That's right in the Bible. That's right in the Bible. I said, some things ain't cut and dry what people thinks is a sin. I said, but it is cut and dry that you can't be a murderer. And I just looked him dead in the eye and said, you believe in a murderer can go to heaven? No way. I'm not drunk. No way. I said, what about a fornicator? Or the head drops. He knows I'm on to it. He knows I'm on to it. Oh, he's been judging this poor old preacher all morning. But when it comes to the daughter, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave that alone. Well, I guess, yeah, I guess if it says, I guess, yeah, changes the subject. Didn't talk about the preacher no more. Amen. Well, it got me to wonder. And I got to thinking about it, and from that day on, this message has been coming to my mind. What kind of foundation was this family beginning to build their life on? What kind of foundation was they beginning to base their Christianity on? Amen. I began to think about a foundation, and if you do it wrong, even a little bit, it'll cost you big in the long run. Amen. You see, you might look at that and you might think, well, maybe they'll get married later on. Maybe this, maybe that. But let's remember, this family is telling the preacher how to run his church. Amen. These people whose foundation is all messed up. Don't get me wrong, nobody's trying to tell me how to run the church. Don't think I'm throwing this at anybody. Because I'm not. But what I am getting at, what is your foundation built on? If this is the beginning of sorrows, and we're going to read here, if this is the beginning, then you're not in church. Now, maybe you're scared. You know, I think about my mama. She probably don't need to be here. But I'll tell you something about her. I believe she's praying. And I believe she's as close to God as she was when she walked out of here the last time. Right. I'm not holding her up any higher than anybody else in here. We're all held to the same standards. We're all filthy rags. But is she close to God like she was when she walked out? If Mama, let's be truthful about it. Mama Liddy misses on a Wednesday night. Do you think, oh Lord, Mama's probably not going to make it? Now she's been missing a lot here. But, if you see some people in here miss, some people in here even miss one service. Let's get it in our mind. Let's be truthful with ourselves. Do you not say, man, oh man, they don't need to be missing. Amen. I'm worried about it. Can you see what I'm getting at? There's some people that can stay home right now and you wouldn't worry a thing about it. There's some. You're wondering. You're truly wondering right now in your mind. I wonder if they'll ever be back. Amen? Is that judging? No, that's not judging. That's being worried about your brother. That's being worried about your sister. But now we don't need to get mad about that. We don't need to begin to talk about them, but what we do need to do is pray for them. Right. But it made me wonder, what is their foundation built on? Right. And is these foundations of these people, not only this church but other churches, is their foundation strong enough with the shaking? You see, this ain't over yet. No, we're all thinking that on a couple weeks everything will be back to normal. What if it spikes again? All they got to do is tell us it does. We don't know if they're telling us the truth or not. Now they know they can keep us home from church. What if it happens again? What if somebody walks through this back door today and says, go home? Don't be back. Is your foundation good enough? I'm asking you today. Are you closer today than you was when we shut the doors? Or have you got long, long, far apart from God? Because all of a sudden you got this freedom. Let's be honest. Wednesday night gets you thinking about Sunday. Sunday gets you thinking about Wednesday and everything in between. You come in here, maybe your mind's open, and the preacher says something, I got to get with it. It's good for you. It's good for you. It's good that we get reminded. Oh, but when we're at home, and all we got to do is get on Facebook or YouTube and say, well, I'll watch it later, and I ain't got time right now. Then you get about 3 messages behind them, you're like, well, I can't watch them all, I guess I'll pick one. Then you're like, oh, well. Then you don't do it all. If you think that's not going on, you're full of yourself. I'm not saying it's going on with anybody in here, I don't know. But if you think it's not going on all over the church world, you're full of yourself. You're full of yourself. We need church. Amen. But I thought about, what is your foundation built upon? I thought about if you build something and you get the whole thing level, but you get tired toward the end. You know, a footer needs to be dug so deep. I'm not a carpenter. I've seen enough of it to know. It needs to be dug so deep and it needs to be dug level. Then you pour the concrete in, so you're building on a solid foundation. What happens when you're digging that footer? You get tired, don't you? You get tired. So what happens if you do 3/4 of the house good level, but the one little last part of it, the last quarter of it, you say, man, I'm just going to do this easy. Man, I ain't going to dig down. You know, it'll be all right. Dad, you build a lot, well, it'll be all right. You get in here, you build a lot, it won't be all right, will it? Amen? Oh, it'll be all right for a while. It'll be all right for a while, then you go out and everything's falling apart. It's no different with serving God. We have the Word of God, and we've got preachers to preach it to us. We've got prophets to turn us around sometimes. Amen? But we have the Word of God to open up and read for ourselves. We got these knees to get on and pray to God and ask God, and then it all should go together and come to one. And I'd like to ask you, do you live by it? Do you believe in it? Amen? You see, I watch people, our church is at a dangerous phase right now. You know why it's dangerous? Not because of coronavirus necessarily. Our church is at a dangerous phase because when I look around, I see all kinds of young people in here. And these young people, just like that dad, let up a little bit. Amen. If we're not careful, we'll let up a little bit when it comes to our kids. Right. Suddenly things that mattered our whole life don't matter anymore. Not just that, but things in our life. When we're not coming to church, we're not here, we're not hearing it all the time. You can almost say we're almost brainwashed. But if you're going to be brainwashed, don't you want to be brainwashed to the Word of God? Amen. You're not being brainwashed, you're just being reminded of it. Amen. But I thought, what is your foundation built on? Who believes? And we're not judging anybody. I know this is a different message. We're not judging anybody. But if I were to sit down and quit preaching right now and leave that talk with you about that young family who's starting their life off, going to church, but living in fornication. Later the conversation escalated a little more. He began to defend why they were doing that. Almost everybody in here can guess why they're doing that. They're doing that to get extra money. Well, people can't make it no more. News alert. I've never lied to get anything. I've made it. I'm eating good, can you tell? Amen. Anybody in here not lied that's eat good? Amen. He'll get it justified. But if I were to ask you, I'm going to sit down here, I'm going to leave it in your hands. If I were to ask you, who believes that family 20 years from now will be serving the Lord strong, everything will be just perfect in their life, building upon the foundation they've started on? But who believes more that in a couple of years they probably will fall out with somebody because they're trying to tell the church how to run when they don't even run their own household right? True. Amen. That's what I probably believe. Now, what do I hope? I hope he goes on and says, "I ain't preacher at work. You know, I've worked with him a long time. He's right. We don't need to get things right." That's what I hope. But do you see what I'm saying? What is your foundation built upon? Oh, I know I preach on fornication and shacking up and adultery and stuff like that a lot. But there's all kinds of things out there that if we just overlook in the Word of God and say, well, it don't matter. You see, there's churches all over this country right now that tell you if you got a beard on your face, you're going to hell. I can't read that. But in the same pulpits, in the same altars, in the same churches, they got a door to shout with them. And the Spirit moving on. Something moving on. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God does not move on fornicator. I've seen people pray that people shacked up will feel something from God. They feel something that's not God. The only thing they're going to feel is they need to get their life right. So they can feel something from God. I've seen people that'll preach you into hell if you don't wear long sleeves. But yet, they go to church with people who shouts, who's drawn a check for years lying about it.
That's true.
What do we want, boys? Do we want to look? Do we want a reputation of holiness? Or do we want to live by the Word of God?
That's true.
Oh, preacher's letting up. Oh, preacher ain't letting up. What have I always told you? You shave your face because you feel like God told you to and you're trying to get closer to God. Amen. Shave that thing.
Amen. That's right.
Don't you tell me somebody's going to hell for having a beard on their face.
Right.
Amen. That's not right.
That's good. That's right.
God moves on you to wear a long sleeve, wear them.
That's right.
If he moves on you and tells you to go out here and lay in a mud hole and roll around in it, go roll in it. But don't tell somebody else he's going to hell if he don't. Amen.
Amen.
I thought about it, I've seen it all over. I've seen more garbage through all this. I've seen more arguing through all this. I've seen less of the love of God through all this. And we got people out there that say you ain't got faith. You do got faith, this and that and the other. Let's live by the Word of God. Let's build a foundation upon the Word of God and live by what the book says. There's enough in it that we ain't doing, and we don't need to be adding stuff to it and telling people they're going to go to hell for it. Amen. I don't know anybody that lives that thing to ever dot, ever T, and don't ever make a mistake. And until we can perfect that, let's don't have nothing to it. Amen. You want to get me hot real quick? You start judging my people in my church. Amen. Because I can find you a church, any church out there, and I can find wrong in it. Amen. And most of the wrong that I've found, they'll be shouting right with it. Amen. I'd have to ask you what's moving in it. What's moving in it? Amen. They'll judge you and they'll be listening to a double-married preacher. Amen. The Bible says it plainly. They'll judge you and be shacked up. Amen. They'll judge you over anything and everything that they can. That's what the devil wants. If you think for 1 second that they won't judge you over this right here, they'll judge you over anything. Amen. 5. or a face mask. In the last days of love, and the last coming. Boy, let's love God. Let's build our foundation upon the Word of God. Everything after that, let's pray about it and say, God, do you want me to do that? God, would you like for me to give that up? God, I want to get a little closer to you. Well, how about we do this? You lay that down. Sometimes it may seem silly. Sometimes it might. Just because you lay it down don't mean I got to. Don't you be telling my people they ain't no good because they ain't. Don't you tell my people they ain't no good and ain't got faith because we're just trying to make a way that we can have church. Amen. And don't you look over there and tell them they're wrong because they got that faith. Amen. Let them know what they want to do. Let me read. How much bad fruit have you seen come from all this? How many would raise your hand and say you've seen bad fruit? I've seen a lot. I've seen people act in a way I never thought they'd act. Both ways. Both directions. Let me read this. For a good tree bringeth forth not corrupt fruit, neither doeth the corrupt tree bringeth forth good fruit. You know, I heard a preacher, I'm trying to move on, you know, just bear with me. I heard a preacher the other day. He said, are you an encourager or a discourager? I never put those two words together, boy. I should have, but I never broke it down. Encourage, discourage. Two similar words, but two 180-degree opposite meanings. Encourage, discourage. Are you an encourager or a discourager? Amen. Is your family here today because you encouraged them to be? Is your family here today because you discouraged them? How's it going to feel? I ain't just talking about the coronavirus. I'm talking about anything. Is somebody here today because you encouraged them? Or are they gone today because you discouraged them? What good does it do to fight, to bicker over all this stuff? Let's live on the Word of God. Amen. So, who would say that somebody who is discouraging, you know, as a dad, forget me being a pastor, forget me being all that, but as a Christian dad, should I not always encourage my family to do the will of God?
Yeah,
I'm the leader. If I encourage them to do good, that's great. If I encourage them to do bad, what do you mean? Well, if I go home and I'm complaining, if I go home and I'm all the time throwing everybody under the bus, this and that, and this and that, and I have found myself doing it through this. I've got a little angry through all this stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. But I've realized in the last few days, we need to encourage one another to do the Word of God.
That's right.
We do the Word of God. Now, what is the Word of God? We have to ask ourselves in every situation of our life, what is the Word of God?
That's right.
And then we need to do the Word of God. Amen. For every tree is known by his own fruit. I'm not known by yours, you're not known by mine, we're known by our fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor bramble bush gather they grapes. In other words, if you want grapes, you go to a grapevine. You don't go to a briar thicket. You don't. Amen. 45, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. I can know your opinion on these right here. You come to church within 3 minutes of talking to you. I can know if you just are dying to be here. I can know if you're broken hearted because you're not having church. or I can know if you're kind of enjoying not having church. Amen?
Amen.
If you're talking about all the things you get to do now on church day, that's not the will of God. Your heart should be breaking that you're not in the house of God. That doesn't mean that I'm telling you you have to be here. But your heart should be breaking that you're not in the house of God. There's not something's wrong. Amen. Verse 46. Why call you me Lord? Why call you me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? You can preach there all day. Who believes that girl and that boy? See, some of you in here might. I don't know. Some of you in here might think, well, you know, they've got a chance. No, if they leave this world, commit fornication, they have no chance to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Now, do they have a chance to get it right? Amen. We need to encourage them to get it right. How do you encourage them to get it right? Tell them the truth in a good and loving way.
That's right.
Amen. But the foundation in which they're building on will not last. Because you know what the devil will do to that? Well, they told us we can never make it. This preacher preached on it, and that preacher preached on it. We're still going to church. Does going to church take you to heaven? Oh, being saved takes you to heaven. Amen. So, then their kids come about. Their kids come home. Their kids spring it on them today. Maybe they're a homosexual. Well, we made it when they told us we could.
That's right.
Do you not realize that's what's wrong with our world today? Nobody will stand up on the Word of God anymore.
It's true.
Everybody's afraid to stand behind a pulpit and preach the Word of God. Oh, they'll preach long sleeves, beard, short hair, long hair, and all this because, oh, the crowd loves it.
Right.
Preach on adultery when adultery walks in the door and see what happens. Oh, I can preach on long sleeves. I can preach on this and that. I can get them all to shout, including the adultery. Well, we ought to be able to amen that because we've all seen it happen.
Amen.
Oh, I can preach on them with a beard on their face. And the fornicator shout when I preach. Amen. How about we preach the Word of God and see how many amens you get? Amen. But they come home and they say, well, you know, I'm a homosexual. Well, it's okay. We'll go down the road to so-and-so's church. They say there ain't nothing wrong with that. What's the Word of God say? Amen. Listen, we live in such a mixed up world of church today that you can go over here, you can find this, you can go over here and find that, this and that, this and that. You can find whatever you want. It'll fit you. It'll fit your way of living. And they'll tell you you're going to heaven. Well, what have you built your foundation on? You better have your foundation built on the Word of God. Amen. 47. Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you, this is Jesus talking. I, speaking of Jesus, I will show you to whom he is like. Amen. He is like a man which built a house, dig deep, laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, let's take our time here. You ever been in a flood? I'm not talking about a physical flood. I'm talking about a spiritual flood. What brought you through it? The Word of God. You had to believe something to still be here. Amen? But, how many seen floods come? So many of them that you knew. You ever seen somebody come to this church? This is a stupid question because we've all seen it. You ever seen the ones that come to this church but they never fully get it? They never fully buy in. You know they got things in their life that they're holding on to that is dead against the Word of God, but you're like, well, let's just give them time. And I believe in that. We need to give them time. We don't need to run people off. But you can see them making grave mistakes. You can see them volunteering to work on a Sunday. I mean, you can see them taking a job that's going to knock them out on Wednesday.
Right.
You can see them living and doing things that you know they are not living with. We can see them hanging out with people we know they shouldn't be hanging out with. We can just see them living in ways that they haven't fully bought in yet. Amen?
Yeah.
And then you see a flood come to their house. Do they make it? But it's the ones who's living by the Word of God. You look at them and you're like, wow. Wow, I can't believe they made it through that. Wow. Man, they are awesome.
Yeah.
No, they live by the Word of God and God brought them through. God is on your side. What did he say a couple verses back? Why do you call me Lord when you don't do what I say? If I do what he says, he is on my side. He can help me through anything. But when I'm not doing what he says, he's not obligated to help me. So how many would admit, you don't have to show me anything, how many would admit that you've seen people, you know they weren't where they needed to be. Maybe they didn't come to church regular like they should. And you knew that there was just one big storm, man. One flood, and they're out here. And then you see it. You see it. How many of you used to sit beside somebody that no longer sits beside you anymore? Because they didn't make it. Go back in your mind and ask yourself, did they fully buy in? Did they fully do the Word of God? Again, none of us is perfect. We will make mistakes. But I should be trying my best to live by the Word of God every day. And I cannot blatantly disobey Him day in and day out and get away with it. It will not happen. Let me read on. I know, I'm sorry. I know this is probably not an uplifting message for the ones that just came back today, but it's just what the Lord gives. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep, laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house. It could not shake it, for it was founded on a rock.
Amen.
You that's been praying, you that's been having, nothing changed for me. I was still here. Unfortunately, you all didn't have that privilege, but I still came here and preached my messages. Nothing really changed for me. I still had to preach. But I'm asking you, had you not kept on keeping on, doing what you know to do you think you'd be in good shape today? That storm has come and it's beating and it's beating and it's beating. I want to tell you, the more I think about it, the more my mind goes back to a little while back when I preached on the storm coming to Bledsoe. I didn't know what it was, but I could see it when I would get down to pray. I could see it. It was coming out of this valley. It hit this church. And I told you there'll be some that don't make it through it. And I still firmly believe that some people will never be back in this building. They may be back in the building, but I'm not sure they'll ever be back spiritually to where they one time was. There's going to be people who gets hurt feelings. There's going to be people that gets mad. There's going to be people that gets distracted with the cares of life. There's going to be something that causes people to not really ever make it back. Amen. You know why? Because they weren't built upon the rock. Have you seen anybody in here that's been mad for a while? And they just can't seem to get over it? Their house is sitting on a foundation with a crack in it. You know what you got to do when that happens? You got to jack it up. You got to fix it. You got to dig it out of there. You got to re-floor it. You got to fix it. Amen? Some people need fixing for a long time. Do you know anybody in here that was barely hanging on by a thread and you could see disaster coming their way anyway, and then this hit? And how many times did you think, well, the preaching went straight to them, but you saw no change? They may not make it back. Now, are we going to be encouragers or discouragers? We can sit back and say, well, they'll never make it fact. Or we can pray. We can pray and we can talk to them. And if the Lord leads you, you can say, hey, you remember, you weren't doing what you used to do. Then this here. There's no shame in it. Come back. But let's jack that house up. Let's dig that out, that problem that was there that was causing you not to be where you needed to be. Because the next storm comes, and what's going to happen again? It's going down again. Amen. Let me read. But he that heareth the word and doeth it not. You may have your opinion of that young family. You may have that opinion. You have your own opinion. You might be thinking, well, I don't believe how you believe. And again, I'm not saying they can't make it. They can change things and make it. But if they keep continuing to live that way, keep continuing to say that they're saved, and that everything is all right, I can guarantee you it will not work, and that is not my opinion. But that is the Word of God. Let's read what the Word of God says. I'm only using that situation because it's the easiest situation to get you to understand. But there's much more, many more issues than fornication that I'm preaching on today. But that's just the easy one to throw out there too. But 49. But he that heareth and doeth not. Now what happened to the man that did the Word of God? The storm beat violently and he couldn't shake it. Amen. But here's one that says, but he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth. Just the earth. He didn't put no labor in it. You see, this is going to be hard. It's hard to clean the life. It's hard to build on a solid foundation. It's hard to say, I'm not going to lie, cheat, and steal, do this anymore. It's easier. This world makes it easier to lie, cheat, and steal. This world would love for you to sit at home and never go back to work. You know what? I want to go back to work. I want to work for what I've got, Doug. Because the Bible tells me that a man won't work, don't eat. And I may eat for a while, and I may draw their food stamps or what have you, and do this and that. But after a while, if the Bible tells me if I don't work, I won't eat, guess what's coming? I'm going to be hungry. Because I depended on somebody else. The Bible tells me to work. Amen? I want to go back to work. Oh, is it nice? Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to not do it before 30. But you know what? They love to get you used to that. They love to pull you in. They love to give you all this and pat you on the back, and that old evil government sit and tell you everything's going to be all right. And at the same hand they're patting with, they'll pick up a knife and stab you right in the back with it. You know why? Because they want you to depend on them. Because one day, I don't know if it's today, I don't know if it's tomorrow, I don't know if it's in our kids' or their kids' lifetime, but our government is going to come to them one day, that same government that would love to give them everything, love to pat them on the back, love to feed them, love to clothe them, love to give them transportation, love to give them an Obama phone, love to give them this, and love to give them that. It's the same government that's going to give them a mark right here that says if you don't take it, you don't eat. Amen. How else could they do that but to get us to depend on them fully? Amen. You better open your eyes. You better realize this is bigger than what we ever think it is. Amen. 49. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, and against which the stream did beat violently. Same storm. Same storm, I believe, Doug. It don't really go into detail right here, but I believe there was a house here. I believe somewhere else there was another house. I believe the same storm, the same stream. Hit them both. This house stood. This house. It did beat violently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin That house was great. Who believes you'd be just fine without God during all this? Who believes the government's going to take care of you and you ain't got nothing to worry about? Well, there ain't nothing changed for me. They can give you an extra $600 and give you all the unemployment they want. I still don't trust it. I trust my God. Amen. And I trust what my God told me to do. My God told me to work. I'll take my way off and I'll sit back for a little while. I don't have no choice. I don't have no choice. And I can tell you right now, it ain't the word of God. It won't last long. Something will crash. Something's going to crash. Something's going to give. Because it ain't made to be that way. Amen. Something's going to backfire. Something's going to mess up. Amen. Because it ain't meant to be that way. Because why? It ain't the word of God. We better know that we're building our house upon the rock. And that rock is the word of God. We're begotten by it. We're saved by it. We'll live by it. I thought one of these days we're going to die. And I thought about we're going to be judged by it. Amen. I want to be found. The Bible tells me where a tree falls is where it lies. You know what that means? It means how you leave this world is how you open your eyes in the next world.
Amen.
You'll either be living holy or you'll be not living holy. And that's what you're going to be judged by.
That's true.
Amen.
That's right.
Where a tree falls, there it lies. There ain't no change in me. There ain't no, well, but no. How the tree falls. That girl leaves this earth. That boy leaves this earth. Living in fornication. Daddy can say they're saved all he wants to. It will not be. Amen. Because the Word of God said so. Anything we got in our lives doesn't add up with the Word of God, we need to fix it.
That's right.
Because if you think this storm's bad, this is only the beginning of sorrow. This right here keeps you out of the house of God.
Yeah, that's right.
If a sickness, amen, can do all it's done in our world, this is only the beginning. Can you stand? Will your house stand when a big storm heads your way? This is nothing, boys. This is nothing compared to what I read about in Revelations.
That's right.
I read about in Revelations where hail mingled with fire
Yeah, that's right.
will fall on me.
That's right.
And the men don't say,
No, help us, Lord. No.
God forgive us.
No, they
This
don't.
is our fault.
That's right.
No, they get mad.
Yeah, that's right.
You seen people get mad over this? In Revelation, it don't say no that they'll give in.
No,
It says they'll curse God. They will curse Him. With hail and fire falling on their heads. I can feel that today when I say it. This is the beginning. What is your house built on today? We need to make sure we're built on the Word of God and on a solid foundation. I love you today. You boys good enough? All right. We'll open the altar. You pray at your seat, however you want to do it. Ain't no different for me. I love you today. Just make sure we're built on a solid